Hello and welcome into the Knicks-Verse. My name is George, and if this is your first time here or you've been here before but have not subscribed yet, please subscribe. Hit that thumbs up button for me and drop your comments, thumbs ups, drop your comments. Get involved. I want to hear your opinions. Definitely want to hear your opinions. We're entering an interesting phase of this team. It's an in-between phase because this game actually shouts, make the next trade, Leon. Right now, we are a little bit lopsided, this team. We have some excellent role players, but we lack leadership when Jalen Brunson is not on the court. Miles Deuce McBride started his second game, filling in for Jalen Brunson today, and he did a good job. He was a high scorer for the Knicks, but he hasn't had this much experience, especially closing out games, closing out close games. Actually, I don't think he's had that experience at all as a pro. So today, the opportunity was there. It presented itself. The magic hung around and eventually took it over in the fourth quarter. And it just showed the absence of Brunson is tremendous, but also the absence of RJ and IQ. Two other guys who have displayed leadership on this team in the past, who put it upon their shoulders to try and will the team to a victory. Didn't see that from anybody else. I will say I saw a little bit of it from Dante. Give him praise tonight. But Randall was a shell of his former self. Apparently in that first quarter, he tweaked his ankle. He left the game. He was in the locker room for a little bit, but he came out and he played. And actually, he didn't look like he was favoring the ankle. So we're not sure. Maybe it was too much in his head because I don't know. I don't even know if it was the same ankle that he got operated on. But it could just be in the back of his head. It may have interfered with him. But it definitely compromised his play today tremendously on a day when his leadership was desperately needed. He only came through with 15 points on under 28% shooting from the field. He put up 18 field goal attempts to give us 15 points on a day, on Martin Luther King Day, without Brunson. And I mean, you got to count Mitch's absence, but we've already kind of addressed that to a great extent in the starting unit with Hartenstein and his amazing play. But we were already, because of the trade, 2 for 1, 2 leaders for OG, who, in my opinion, and you guys are all going to freak out when I say it, he's just not a leader. He's not a leader. And though he did try, he played well. He played 44 minutes today, a tremendous amount of minutes. Hit 3 of 4 from the 3-point line. Shot 45.5% overall, 5 of 11. So inside the arc, though, he was only 2 of 7. Inside the arc, he was 2 of 7, so he couldn't finish well, but hit all 4 of his free throws, which were very important because the free throws were a major story in this game. Major story in this game down the end. And I have one highlight for you guys to show. You may have already seen it. Going to shout out to Tommy Beer, who actually is the one who pointed it out. And when it was happening, I saw it. I was like, what the hell? But he tweeted it out, and I have that highlight to show you guys. And I got stats and analysis and breakdown. Let's get to it right now. Here we go. Knicks lost 98-94. Knicks weren't even able to break the 100-point mark. The century mark was not to happen today. And there were several reasons. One, I think a lot of people are going to put this blame on Thibs. And he has his share of responsibility for this, obviously, no doubt. Didn't have his players prepared to come out with the fire and desire that's needed, and allowed the Magic to believe that if they went on a sustained run, which they did in that fourth quarter, I think they went on a 10-1 run for a 4-minute, 10-1, maybe 10-0 run for a 4-minute stretch in crunch time, late in the second half of the fourth quarter. And then that's it. They got right in the game. And then they took the lead for the first time since the first quarter, and the Knicks were not able to respond. That is a concern. Now, I know if we had Brunson, he would have been the one hitting those clutch buckets, but Deuce did a decent yeoman's job, let's put it that way. But he is not a leader on this team. He's not paid like a leader on this team. He hasn't been given that responsibility ever that I've seen. But today's a great learning experience for him. I'm sure he will learn from this. There was one key possession late in that fourth quarter where he was trying to drive left, but the defender cut him off, didn't quite know what to do, and instead of setting up a situation for a high pick and roll with Randall, he ended up trying to drive on his own, and I think kind of kicked the ball out to Dante. Dante was still able to, come up with something. I think he drove, and I think he got fouled, but you could see there was Dante was pointing out, telling him, no, you got to do this, you got to do that. Hey, that's part of the learning curve, But these are the things you sacrifice as a team, as a franchise, when you get rid of your backup point guard, who probably should have been your starting point guard 2 years ago, who was Sixth Man of the Year last year, who will definitely be a point guard in this league for years to come, Emmanuel Quickley, and you give up your other, co-leader, the guy who's back here. I will replace this eventually. I will replace that eventually. But RJ has leadership qualities, and you can see it often in those fourth quarters when the Knicks were stagnating and they just needed a bucket. They needed something easy. And RJ would be the one who would try to drive and create something, get to the free throw line, and hit his free throws. Unlike what happened today with the Knicks. The Knicks were 2 of 4 from the free throw line in the fourth quarter. 2 of 4, is that correct? No, that was Orlando. Knicks were 2 of 6. 2 of 6, so they missed 4 free throws. The deficit right there is 4. They hit all 4 of those free throws, which is not a lot to ask for, to go 6 for 6 in a quarter from the free throw line. The game is tied, at least. It's a different type of ending of a game. Let's get to this. I want to show you this one highlight right here. Because the man right there down in the corner, Julius Randle, if he was hurt trying to play through it, it's hard to get too, put the microscope, put his performance under the microscope if he really is hurt. But at the same time, why are we playing guys that are hurt, that can't create winning plays in crunch time? Why is he out on the court? Because the depth on the team has been drastically drained since the beginning of the summer when we traded away Obi Toppin, Mr. Get Us Easy Buckets, leak out guy who's shooting, 40-something% from the three-point line this season. The whole season, 40%. Anyway, so we lost him, replaced him with a shorter guy, Dante DiVincenzo, who, the guy's, actually today he wasn't good in the fourth quarter, but overall he had a good game himself. He gave us, what did Dante give us? Actually, I take it back. 15 points for him. He did do some playmaking today. That's the thing that I really noticed that was really great for him. He took it upon himself to have the ball in his hands a lot more this game, because you need someone else who can do it. You can't just rely on Randall and Deuce and then Malachi when he comes in. I mean, you need somebody else who can do it. And Josh Hart tries to give you some of that, but I have a lot of issues with Josh Hart lately, especially since the trade. We're going to get into that. But like Dante's final score line tonight, 24 minutes, 5 of 12 overall. That's 41.7%. Only 2 of 8 from the three-point line, 25%. 50% from the free throw line, 3 of 6. But he did pick up 6 rebounds and 4 assists to finish with 15 points. And he ended up being a +9 in the plus-minus. Though this plus-minus on NBAstats.com look a little odd to me. We'll compare them to the ESPN ones when we get into it. But let me show you this. This is the key play right here. Right here. The Knicks finally gave up the lead. Okay, we're going to look at that play again. Turn Breen's volume down. So Randall goes to the free throw line. He missed the first free throw. Misses the second one. Look, you just watch Randall the whole time. He's just kind of jogging back. Who is he even covering? Okay, he's got Cole in the corner. Lets Cole go. It doesn't do anything. Doesn't help out on OG right there. Now he's over there. Kind of, look, he walks away from Paolo. Who's he guarding? He's pointing at Paolo. To who? Is he pointing to RJ? I mean, is he telling hey, go? Yeah, who's he pointing at? That was a pivotal possession right there. 2.5 minutes left in the game. Crunch time. No Jalen Brunson. And that is how Randall responds. Now, again, that ankle, was that bothering him? Was that in the back of his mind? Did he try to not go max effort throughout the rest of this game because of that ankle? We don't know. But all we know is he is out there, and he is supposed to perform and supposed to try to do his best to try. And everyone's kind of, because of the weak link defensively, other guys are standing around, looking around. Like, who am I supposed to cover? Let's watch this play again. Here we go. It misses here. I think Fultz gets the rebound. Obviously, Fultz is usually Deuce's guy right here. Sets a screen, releases it, but OG sticks with him. Ihart has to help, but he's not in position to get the rebound. Rebound goes to Cole. And another, where's Hartenstein there? Hartenstein had 5 fouls in this game, so I think he was not really, he was playing cautious right there. Wow. That was it. Knicks never had the lead again after that. They lost today. And now they are, I believe, what are they? They are 23 and 17, and we are now 7th outside of the playoffs, just a half game behind the Cavaliers, Heat, and Pacers are all 7 games behind. We're 7.5 games behind, but behind us, the team we just faced, the Orlando Magic, who they are 8.5 games back. We're 7.5, but we are 0-2 against them in the head-to-head matchups. So the best we can hope for is a split at this point with 2 games remaining. We have to win those last 2 against them, because if we end up tied at the end of the season, the standings, the major tiebreaker is head-to-head records. So right now, we are underwater against the Orlando Magic. And really, for no reason, we shouldn't be. We should not be underwater. Let's look at this. All right. These are the fourth quarter stats. Fourth quarter stats for the Knicks. A whopping 16 points. That's how much the Knicks scored today in the fourth quarter. OG was a -9. Randall a -10. In about 8 minutes of play, he was a -10. Hartenstein played all 12, same as OG. And Miles almost played all 12. They were all -9. Dante, because, we lost the quarter by 9 points. That's how that works. Dante was a -7 there. 0 for 2 in the fourth quarter. He missed both of his 3-point attempts and missed 2 crucial free throws. He missed the first or hit the second both times when he went to the line. But he did pick up 4 rebounds in that fourth quarter, 1 dime, but only came through with 2 points for him. Grimes played 4 minutes, the first 4 minutes, I believe, of the fourth quarter, and then was subbed out. I believe Grimes should have been back in place of Josh Hart. Josh Hart gave us nothing in that fourth quarter. Not even sure what it is that he was even trying to do offensively. Over 6 minutes, just 1 shot attempt, no points, 1 rebound himself. He's been a tremendous disappointment, and just to put it mildly here, I mean, in the last 4 games, where the Knicks are now 2-2, and Brunson played the first 2 of these 2 games, 4-2. 2-2 in the last 4 games. Josh Hart is shooting a very slim 3-point percentage of 18.2%. 18.2%. Overall, he's shooting 31.8% since the trade in 25 minutes of play he's averaging. He is averaging 4.5 points a game in the last 4 games. But and Brunson has also been struggling from the 3-point line. The 2 games before, now he sat out with the calf. He has, I think, a calf contusion, and he was out there warming up early in the game. He just couldn't quite go, and it's okay. I'd rather him not force it. But even he was struggling in those first 2 games. 23.1% from the 3-point line, under 40% overall, and so that's how the Knicks are 2-2 now. Randle has been our high scorer during the stretch at 22.8 points per game, but even his efficiencies have struggled. 41.8% overall from the field, 3-point line, 26.9%. And his rebounding is at 7.5, even because Hartenstein's rebounding has been outstanding, 15.3 today. Not so much because he didn't play as much because of the foul trouble. So we have some issues now. OG Anunoby has been playing well in these past 4 games himself, averaging 36 minutes, 17 points a game, shooting 52.1% overall from the field, and he's shooting 45% from the 3-point line. So he's giving us production, which is beautiful. But the Knicks are struggling overall as a team in the last 4 games. In the last 2 games without Brunson, it's even a little scarier, the numbers. Leading the team in 3-point shooting is OG in the last 2 games, 50%. Then Miles is at 47.1%. Miles, actually, since the trade, has been playing very, very well. He's shooting, since the trade, 48.7% overall from the 3-point line, almost 50% on 5 attempts. 5 attempts per game, he's shooting almost 50%. Excellent for him. He's averaging 10.4 points per game. But in the last 2 games, we got Randle shooting 20% from the 3-point line. Dante shooting 26%. Josh Hart shooting 33%. The only guys really doing much from the 3-point line are Grimes, Deuce, and OG. So the team when you lose your best player, you're going to have some difficult moments, difficult situations, but you hope that other guys step up. And I'll say that I think Deuce has done a good job of stepping up and filling that role, especially since the first time he's really had that in a meaningful way, in any way. I believe he's started games in the past, but it was probably late in the season and the games weren't that important. Not like this. These games really are crucial. We're in a very important stretch right now where we should either be creating distance from our rivals, who are struggling to get that 4th seed, 5th, 5th or 6th seed. We should be creating distance. Instead, we're fading, we're drifting back, and now we are in 7th place. Could easily be in 8th place by Wednesday if we lose and Orlando wins. So distressing times. And as you can see here, look at the futility here of the Knicks. 2 of 11 from the 3-point line in the 4th quarter in crunch time, and 6 of 20 overall. So we shot 30% overall. So we were inside the arc. We were 4 of 9. Still nothing exciting. 8 rebounds there. And 2 steals, but man, was that dismal, especially when you look at what the Magic has done. Look what the Magic did in the 4th quarter. It wasn't nothing crazy, just 25 points for them, but it was enough. And they shot only 1 of 8 from the 3-point line. But inside the arc, they were 10 of, what were they? 10 of 14. Beautiful. That is some serious numbers right there, because they got many second chance and third chance opportunities in that 4th quarter. And I show you that one play. They had 3 different opportunities right there. 16 rebounds. They out-rebounded us 16-8 in the 4th quarter. That was devastating. 6 assists for them, 2 for us. They picked up 2 steals. They did commit 3 turnovers. We only committed 2 there. But that is dismal. Here are the full game stats for the Knicks. As I've been rattling them off before, you can see Randall was 5 of 18. Overall, OG 5 of 11. 4 of our starters got in double figures. But you can see Hartenstein's only played 29 minutes today because of the 5 fouls. He was in foul trouble. But look at Josh Hart, man, a minus 13. Minus 13. Grimes was a minus 12, but in that fourth quarter, in the second half, he was just even. Let me get that stat here. So I like being accurate. Accuracy matters. We'll figure that out later. Let's move on to this. Here's the Orlando Magic. Their stats. Paolo with 20 points for him. Okike, who filled in for Franz Wagner. Now, we're talking about a Magic team that played without... in my opinion, Wagner's a better player than Banchero. But whatever, it's arguable. Magic were missing one of their 2 top players. So just like we were missing one of our 2 top players, so were the Magic. And the Magic were on the road. And they took care of business tonight. Took care of business because look at their bench. Wendell Carter Jr., 7 of 11, 17 points. Cole Anthony, who went crazy in that fourth quarter, 15 points, 6 of 12 overall. Why can't I find that stat line there? Don't you guys hate when you can't find something? Here we go. There we go. I want to see exactly how Cole did in that fourth quarter. Cole scored 10 points in that fourth quarter, 5 of 8 overall, and he missed 2 of his 3-point shots. 2 rebounds, 2 assists, 2 steals for Cole Anthony, and 10 points in that fourth quarter to help secure the win for the Orlando Magic, who are actual rivals of the Knicks in the Eastern Conference. All right. So Alder Almo tweeted this out, and he's been putting out tweets that are very similar to this type of attitude. After OG Anunoby hit a 3 for an 88-81 Knicks with 7+ minutes, he only had one more attempt, a missed 3 the rest of the way. Without Jalen Brunson, Anunoby only had 11 shots in 44 minutes. Not sure if games like this inspire him to sign long-term in New York. He has been, that last line, not sure if games like this inspire him to sign long-term. He's already, I think this might be the 3rd tweet I've seen since the OG trade about his concerns that the way that the offense is structured and the way Thibs has the offense cooking or rolling or whatever you want to call it, or plotting along, is going to hurt our chances of re-signing OG Anunoby. Because he wants, in Toronto, he wanted to be more of a feature element of the offense. Not an afterthought, not a guy who just sits in the corner and it gives you max effort on the defensive end. He wanted to be more than just a 3-and-D guy. And he showed today. He showed the past 2 games he's been driving to the hoop, though he wasn't as effective today as he was the previous game. He wants to have more responsibility. But today in the fourth quarter was a chance for him to step up. Now, was it play calling? Well, you know what? Sometimes you can ask for the ball. You can change things up. You can try to create something. You can see a mismatch and exploit it. So I don't think this is all on the Knicks. It's also on OG himself. You know, he may want to be a piece, a more featured piece in an offense, but may not be that type of talent. We'll see as we move forward. But this is an interesting thing to keep an eye on, whether the way the Knicks utilize OG on the offense, if that's the way he liked to be utilized, and if that's going to encourage him to sign off season, something to keep an eye on. Let's see. One thing I wanted to look at was the plus minuses. Okay, good. Yeah, that's right. Yeah, generally. generally. But in crunch time, those plus minuses just cratered. Because let's see here. I'm looking for... Yes. Oh, man. Let's look through here. The plus minuses... Yeah, wow. Drastically different. In the first 3 quarters, Randall was a plus 12. OG was a plus 13. Dante a plus 16. Miles a plus 12. The Knicks were up 7 points. So it was all about a fourth quarter collapse. Interesting. Let's roll through here. Here are the team stats. I'm almost done. Knicks only with 20 assists. We know the story there. 26 assists for the Magic. Points in the paint. We got destroyed today. 52-36. That's a plus 16 for the Magic. Plus 16 in the paint. And really, that was the whole story because neither team shot well from the three-point line, though we did connect on 5 additional three-point shots, and that did help us. But inside the arc, it did not. Man, 46 rebound. We lost the rebounding battle. We were a -5 there. Points off turnovers, a -4 there, and that's was the spread in the game right there. Wow. Here we go. This is a topic right here. The Hawks are looking for 2 first-round picks for DeJounte Murray, per Kevin O'Connor. Quote, from people I've spoken with, the Hawks are asking for 2 firsts in return for Murray, who would prefer to join a team with a chance to make an immediate playoff run. So far, no one has met their demands. As soon as someone does, he's gone from the Hawks. The question is Dante the guy that we need? Well, here's the thing. At this point, to be honest with you, we need somebody. We do. We just desperately need somebody. And even though Dante would end up starting next to Brunson in that first unit, he or Brunson will definitely be the guy who gets the majority of the second unit minutes. We'll have somebody who can protect the ball, who can play make, who can distribute, who can hit key buckets when needed. So he is interesting. I'm getting a better feeling about him on the team, though. 2 first-round picks. That's a lot, in my opinion. It's depending on the situation, depending on how protected they are, what picks they are, actually. But no one stepped up. But I think it will happen soon. I have a feeling that the next trade that the Knicks make is very close. I think by this time next week, by next Monday, that trade may have already happened. I know I kind of said that before. I thought it might have happened by today, and it didn't. And you can see that it should have. We needed it. We're 2-2 during that period, so we need to make something happen here. Please vote. Brunson deserves it. Randall, despite today's play, he deserves it as well. Let's vote for our guys. Let's keep on voting. I voted today. I got 3X, which is nice. Okay. Well, thank you so much for watching this. Again, my name is George. Please subscribe. Hit the thumbs up button for me, and I will see you around the Knicks-Verse.